Multiple waves of Arctic air are headed our way, and I'm going to show you exactly what to expect, when to expect it, and how to prepare. No fear-mongering, just facts. Just the information you need to stay safe and informed. In 30 seconds, I'll reveal the specific counties where ice accumulation could reach dangerous levels and exactly when the worst conditions will hit. Right now, meteorologists are tracking something remarkable. The Sierra Nevada is about to receive feet of snow. The Great Lakes region is preparing for significant icing, and the Northeast could see one of the most impactful winter storms of the season, all happening right after Christmas when millions of Americans are traveling. Here's what you'll get from staying with me. At the 5-minute mark, I'll break down the exact snow forecast for major cities, including New York, Philadelphia, and Boston. At 10 minutes, I'll explain the Arctic air pattern and why it's setting up for multiple cold shots. At 15 minutes, we'll look at the January outlook. And at 20 minutes, I'll give you my detailed safety checklist. Fair deal? Let's get started. The weather pattern setting up across America right now is fascinating from a meteorological perspective. Out west, we have active weather with lower elevation rain causing flooding concerns and higher elevation snow measured in feet. The Cascades and Sierra Nevada are getting hammered. In the middle of the country, it's relatively quiet, but that's about to change. In the east, we just finished one winter weather event, and another one is already organizing. Winter storm watches are up across Pennsylvania, and they're going to expand northward over the next several hours. Let me explain what a winter storm watch means. It's issued when conditions are favorable for significant winter weather within 24 to 48 hours. It's the National Weather Service's way of giving you advance notice. Not a warning yet, but a heads up. Time to start preparing. The main event we're tracking is a winter storm for Friday, December 26th, the day after Christmas. This system is going to bring significant impacts to the Great Lakes and Northeast regions. Let's start with the Great Lakes because they deserve attention too. Lower Michigan is looking at a moderate icing event. Starting Thursday evening, Christmas evening, snow begins entering the upper peninsula of Michigan. By Friday morning, the day after Christmas, a significant winter weather event moves in. Here's what makes this different. Typically in the Great Lakes region this time of year, we see all snow. But this system is bringing a wintry mix. The pink areas on weather maps represent freezing rain. Orange represents sleet. Blue is snow. Heavy snow is forecast for the upper peninsula and northern Michigan. But look at that heavy icing zone moving through lower Michigan, northern Ohio, and northern Indiana. Detroit and central lower Michigan are definitely in the freezing rain zone. This will be done by Saturday morning, but Friday is going to be rough. Now let's focus on the Northeast because this is where the highest impacts are expected. This will be a high-impact event from Pennsylvania northward. Christmas morning across New England will have some festive flurries. What a wonderful way to start Christmas if you live up there. Light snow flying around. Very possible in Pennsylvania, even around New York City and New Jersey. But the big system arrives Friday morning, December 26th. Friday morning into Friday evening, that's when this really begins to take over. The European weather model shows freezing rain in pink, sleet in orange, and snow in blue. When you see dark blue corridors, that's very heavy, wet snow. Notice how close that low pressure is to the coast. That's bringing in warm air. But there's cold high pressure to the north blocking it. This creates heavy, wet snow. Not dry, fluffy snow. Heavy, wet, back-breaking snow. Snow begins flying around Friday evening in New York City. According to the European model, it stays all snow in New York City. Heavy snow Friday night. Quick hitting, but intense. The freezing rain corridor in Pennsylvania is concerning. Some areas could receive 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of freezing rain. That's significant ice accumulation. How far south will the ice extend? Potentially all the way down to Washington, D.C. At 10 p.m. Friday evening, parts of New Jersey will be cut in half. Heavy snow to the north, icing to the south. By early Saturday morning, it's still snowing pretty good across southern New England. Boston,
You're right on the northern fringe of heavier precipitation. Plenty cold enough for snow, but that cold high pressure is really pushing this system south. It looks like all snow for New York City. By Saturday afternoon, the system is done. Winter wonderland conditions across these areas.
Now let's look at the American GFS model for comparison. The GFS is notorious for being colder, and it shows exactly that. Friday afternoon, snow begins overspreading northeast Pennsylvania and southern tier New York. Heavy snow at first in Buffalo, Binghamton, Syracuse. The GFS wants an all-out sleet fest moving into D.C., Baltimore, even Philadelphia. It keeps mainly icy conditions across the D.C. to Philadelphia corridor. More sleet than freezing rain. When you get to New York City, heavy, wet snow. And there's that tight cutoff for Boston where you might see very little. This is a corridor of very heavy, wet snow. New York City could see substantial accumulation in just a few hours. Now, I promised you specific snow forecasts at the 5-minute mark. Here they are. New York City, 6 to 10 inches possible. The higher end of that range is very possible based on current model guidance. Philadelphia, 2 to 4 inches snow, then mixing with sleet. Less accumulation than New York City.
Allentown, Pennsylvania, 4 to 7 inches of snow with some mixing. Boston, 1 to 3 inches. You're on the northern fringe, so amounts will be limited. Buffalo, 3 to 6 inches initially, then lake effect snow continues after the main system moves offshore. Syracuse, 4 to 8 inches from the main system, plus lake effect. State College, Pennsylvania. This is the ice zone. 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch ice accumulation expected. This is dangerous. Detroit, significant freezing rain Friday morning through midday. Moderate ice accumulation expected. Cleveland, moderate to heavy freezing rain at times. Isolated power outages possible. These forecasts can still change as we get closer, but this gives you the general idea of what to expect. The snowfall will be heaviest in a narrow corridor from northeast Pennsylvania through northern New Jersey, the New York City metro area, Long Island, and parts of southern New York State. If you're outside this corridor, amounts drop off significantly.
That's the challenge with these types of systems. 50 miles can make the difference between 8 inches of snow and 1 inch of snow. Ice accumulation is most concerning across central Pennsylvania, lower Michigan, northern Ohio, and northern Indiana. 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch ice accumulation will bring down trees and power lines. Travel will be dangerous to impossible. Let me give you some perspective on ice. 1/10 of an inch of ice on power lines starts to add significant weight. 1/4 inch of ice can bring down tree branches. 1/3 of an inch of ice will snap power lines and cause widespread outages. This isn't something to take lightly. Now, at the 10-minute mark, I want to explain the bigger pattern at play here, the Arctic air situation. Multiple waves of Arctic air are coming, not just one cold shot, multiple waves that will keep temperatures below normal for an extended period. The first significant Arctic push arrives around Sunday, December 29th. Temperatures crash across the northern plains, Midwest, and Great Lakes. By Monday and Tuesday, that's New Year's Eve week, the cold spreads eastward across the entire eastern half of the country, but it doesn't stop there. Another reinforcing shot of cold arrives in early January, then potentially another one mid-January, each wave keeping the pattern locked in place. Why is this happening? The Arctic region has an abundance of cold air right now, more than typical for this time of year, and it's positioned favorably to drop south into the United States. There's also a favorable setup in Atlantic Canada that supports cold air transport into the eastern U.S.
When you have cold air sources to the north and northwest and favorable atmospheric blocking patterns, the cold air has an easy path southward. The models are showing this pattern persisting through at least mid-January.
That's 2 to 3 weeks of sustained below normal temperatures for much of the eastern two-thirds of the country. What does this mean practically? It means every storm system that moves through has winter weather potential. It means heating bills are going to be higher. It means extra care for outdoor infrastructure and pipes. It means winter isn't just a few cold days here and there. It's sustained cold. But sustained cold also means consistent conditions. Once you're in the pattern, you know what to expect. You can plan accordingly. Now let's talk about storm potential going forward. And this is where it gets interesting. There's a low pressure area spinning around Baja California right now. It's not doing much, just sitting there. But meteorologists are watching it closely. When that energy finally ejects eastward into the cold pattern, that's when we could see significant winter storm development. Current timing suggests this might happen around January 5th through 8th, give or take a day or two. The ensemble forecast models, which run multiple scenarios to gauge confidence, are showing storm signals during this time frame. Multiple ensemble members showing similar solutions. That increases confidence that something will develop. We're over 300 hours out, so specifics are still uncertain, but the pattern is there. The ingredients are aligning. Cold air in place? Check. Pacific energy ready to move east? Check. Favorable atmospheric setup? Check. All the pieces are coming together for an active first half of January from a winter weather perspective. The Climate Prediction Center's temperature outlook for the first 2 weeks of January shows below normal temperatures for the eastern two-thirds of the United States. That's a large area. That's most of the country. Their precipitation outlook shows above normal precipitation for the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast. Above normal precipitation in January with below normal temperatures means snow, potentially lots of it. This isn't speculation. This is what the long-range forecast models are consistently showing. Pattern recognition based on atmospheric conditions. Could the pattern change? Sure. Weather patterns always can. But right now, all indications point toward an active, cold January. At the 15-minute mark, let me break down today's weather and Christmas Day forecast. The Southeast has beautiful weather today. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s, sunny skies. If you're in this region, enjoy it. Get outside. Spend time with family. These are the days to appreciate. Later tonight, some shower activity moves into the central and southern Appalachian Mountains. Might even hear a rumble of thunder. Yes, thunder on Christmas Eve. The atmosphere is unstable enough with the temperature contrasts we have. The Northeast is interesting today. There's a band of snow that could overachieve in eastern Massachusetts, southeast Massachusetts specifically. This could bring super festive vibes with snow falling on Christmas Eve. Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, Cape Cod, you're in the zone for this. Overnight tonight into Christmas morning, it's snowing across interior New England. Maine wakes up to fresh snow. White Christmas guaranteed in those areas. I think we could see flurries pretty far south too. Pennsylvania, around New York City, just festive flurries to add to the holiday atmosphere. The south central U.S. has nothing to report. Beautiful day, nothing active. The north central U.S. also quiet. Maybe some light shower activity in the Midwest and Ohio Valley later, but nothing significant. The western U.S. is where all the action is. Very active weather. A funnel of moisture continues slamming into the coast. Higher elevation snow in the Sierra Nevada. Very strong winds for anyone south of the low pressure systems. There's a 985 millibar low near Washington State. For perspective, that's a very deep low pressure. It's pulling in tremendous amounts of moisture and producing strong winds. And another system is right behind it. More moisture funneling in as we get into Christmas morning. This is just a relentless pattern. Nasty weather through the entire Christmas holiday for the West Coast. Tons of alerts are up. winter storm warnings in the Sierra Nevada, flood watches for California, high wind warnings and watches. The National Weather Service is taking this seriously, and residents should too. Forecast wind gusts show strong winds across the entire region for the next 24 hours. Sustained winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour with gusts higher. That's strong enough to cause damage and power outages. Rainfall totals are significant. Over half a foot of rain could fall around Los Angeles and the surrounding hills. 6+ inches in a short period of time on saturated ground. On burn scar areas from previous wildfires. This creates serious flooding and mudslide risk. The Sierra Nevada snowfall forecast shows feet of snow between now and Friday morning. Not a foot, feet. If you're doing a Christmas vacation up there, you might be snowed in for a while. Make the best of it. Enjoy the cozy cabin atmosphere, but know that travel out of there might not be possible for several days. At the 20-minute mark, here's your detailed safety checklist for the winter storm Friday into Saturday. Check your emergency supplies now. Flashlights, batteries, candles, matches. Test your flashlights to make sure they work. Replace batteries if needed. Stock up on food and water, at least 72 hours worth. 1 gallon of water per person per day. Non-perishable food that doesn't require cooking or refrigeration. Canned goods, granola bars, dried fruit, nuts. Medications. Make sure you have at least a week's supply of all critical medications. Pharmacies might be closed or unreachable during the storm. Phone chargers. Charge all devices now. Get portable battery packs if you don't have them. Your phone is your connection to emergency services and weather updates. Know your neighbors, especially elderly neighbors or those with special needs. Check on them before the storm. Make sure they're prepared. Exchange phone numbers. Backup heat source. If you have a fireplace or wood stove, stock up on firewood now. Test your generator if you have one. Make sure you have fuel. Always use generators outside with proper ventilation. Carbon monoxide is deadly. Vehicle preparation. Keep your gas tank at least half full. Have an emergency kit in your car with blankets, flashlight, water, snacks, phone charger. If you get stranded, you'll be glad you prepared. Clear gutters and downspouts now before precipitation arrives. Clogged gutters can cause ice dams and roof damage. Bring pets inside.
They need protection from severe weather too. Make sure they have food, water, and a warm place to stay. Know when to stay home. If authorities advise against travel, listen. Your life is more valuable than any appointment or gathering. There's no shame in staying safe. For the ice threat specifically, understand that ice is more dangerous than snow. You cannot drive on ice. Even four-wheel drive doesn't help on ice. Ice wins every time. If you're in the icing zone, assume you could lose power. Prepare for it now. Don't wait until the power goes out to wish you had prepared. Have alternative lighting. Battery-powered lanterns are better than candles for general lighting. Candles work but require supervision. Keep refrigerator and freezer doors closed if power goes out. Food will stay cold longer. Fill bathtubs with water before the storm if you're on a well system. If power goes out, your pump won't work. For the extended cold period, protect pipes. Let faucets drip during extreme cold. Open cabinet doors under sinks to allow warm air circulation. Insulate exposed pipes. Check on vulnerable people regularly. Elderly neighbors, people living alone, those with medical conditions. Cold weather is especially dangerous for these groups. Limit outdoor exposure during extreme cold. Frostbite can occur in minutes when temperatures are below zero with wind chill. Watch for signs of hypothermia, confusion, slurred speech, drowsiness. Get the person somewhere warm and call for help. Space heaters must be used with extreme caution. Keep them away from flammable materials. Never leave them unattended. Never use them while sleeping. As it says in Psalm chapter 147, verse 16, He gives snow like wool. He scatters the frost like ashes. There's wisdom in that verse. God gives us seasons. He gives us weather. And He gives us the wisdom to prepare for it. This isn't about fear. It's about respect. Respect for nature's power.
Respect for winter's dangers. And respect for our responsibility to take care of ourselves and others. Now, let me address something important. Christmas can be difficult for some people. Maybe you lost someone this year. Maybe finances are tight. Maybe you're struggling with depression or anxiety. Winter weather can amplify those feelings. Cold, dark days can feel heavy. If that's you, please reach out. Talk to someone. A friend, a family member, a counselor, a pastor. And spend time with God. He's there. He cares. He hasn't forgotten you. Psalm chapter 34, verse 18 says, The Lord is near the brokenhearted. He saves those crushed in spirit. That's a promise you can hold on to. For those doing well, remember others are struggling. Be kind. Be generous. Be patient. Your small act of kindness might be exactly what someone needs to get through a difficult day. Shovel a neighbor's driveway. Check on someone living alone. Share a warm meal. These things matter. As it says in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2, Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. You never know how God might use you to bless someone else's life. Let me give you the complete timeline summary. Today, December 24th, Christmas Eve. Beautiful weather in the southeast. Active storms in the west. Light snow possible in the northeast tonight. Tomorrow, December 25th, Christmas Day. Festive snow in New England. Continued chaos in the west. Warm in the southeast. Friday, December 26th. Major winter storm. Ice in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Heavy snow, Pennsylvania through New York. Dangerous travel. Power outages likely in ice zones. Saturday, December 27th. Storm exits. Lake effect snow begins. Clear up and cold down begins. Sunday through Tuesday, December 29th through 31st. Arctic air arrives. Temperatures crash. Sustained cold begins. First week of January. Storm potential increases as Pacific energy moves into cold pattern. Specific timing still uncertain. Mid-January, pattern remains cold with continued storm chances. As we wrap up, let me tell you what's coming in future updates. I'm going to do detailed analysis of those January storm signals as we get closer. The exact timing, areas of concern, confidence levels. If winter weather impacts your area, you'll want to see those breakdowns. They'll help you plan your schedule and preparations. The pattern ahead is active, cold, full of winter weather potential. But we're prepared. We have warning. We have tools. We have community. That's more than our grandparents had, and they made it through winters much worse than this. Stay informed. Stay prepared. Help your neighbors. And keep your faith strong. Winter is a season. It comes, it challenges us, and it passes. And when spring arrives, we'll appreciate it all the more for having endured winter together. May God bless you through this holiday season and the winter ahead. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll talk again soon.